Hello, hello, and welcome back to Speak Power Daily. I'm Charlotte, and I'm so glad you're here with me today. Tell me, do you ever have this experience? You study English, you know the grammar rule, you understand the words, but then you need to speak and your mind goes completely blank. Or maybe you can think the perfect sentence, but when you try to say it out loud, it feels strange, like you're wearing shoes that don't quite fit. If that sounds familiar, please know you are absolutely not alone. In fact, every single person who has ever learned a language has been right there with you. So, today, we're going to talk about that very thing: how to improve your English speaking skills. And we're going to forget about perfection. We're going to focus on progress, on connection, and on finding your voice. First, let's change one thought. Many learners believe, I need more vocabulary and perfect grammar before I can speak well. But I want to suggest a different idea. Speaking is not the result of learning. It is a powerful way of learning. Think of it like learning to swim. You can read 100 books about swimming techniques, but you only really learn when you get in the water and start moving. Your mouth and your ears need practice, just like your eyes do when you read. So, our first step is a mindset shift from I must be ready to speak to I will use speaking to get ready. Your courage to try is more important than any tiny mistake you might make. In fact, those mistakes are not enemies. They are your best teachers, showing you exactly what to practice next. So, where do we start? With the most private, safe space you have, your own mind. I want you to try a little game today. For 5 minutes, try to think in English. Describe what you are doing. I am making coffee. The water is boiling. I can hear birds outside. It doesn't have to be complex. This simple practice builds a direct pathway in your brain, browsing the translation step. It makes English feel less like a foreign subject and more like a tool you already own. Because that's what it is. English is not a test. It's a key to new conversations, new ideas, and new versions of yourself. And we're going to start polishing that key together. Now let's take that English voice in your head and give it some air. This is where the real magic starts to happen. I want to talk about a practice that feels a little silly at first, but I promise you, it is incredibly powerful. It's called speaking to yourself. Yes, you heard me right. I want you to become your own favorite conversation partner. Why? Because when you're alone, there is zero pressure. No one is listening, no one is judging. It's just you and the English language playing together. This is your private practice room, and the door is locked. So, what do you talk about? Anything. Describe what you see around you. Look out the window and say, the sky is blue today, and there are 2 big clouds. A woman is walking her dog. If you're cooking dinner, explain the steps to an imaginary friend. First, I chop the onions. Next, I heat the oil in the pan. You can even talk about your plans for tomorrow or how your day was. This does 2 wonderful things. First, it gets your mouth and tongue used to forming English sounds. Your speaking muscles need exercise, just like your legs need exercise for running. Think of it as a training session for your mouth. Second, it helps you find the gaps in your vocabulary. When you don't know the word for frying pan, you'll notice. And that's perfect. You can then look it up, and that new word will stick in your memory much better because you needed it. Another fantastic exercise is reading aloud. Find a short article, a book paragraph, or even the subtitles on a TV show, and read them out loud. Don't worry about speed. Focus on saying each word clearly. Listen to the rhythm of the sentences. This connects your eyes, your brain, and your mouth in a fluent loop. It's like a dancer practicing the steps slowly before doing the full dance. The goal here isn't to be perfect. The goal is to build comfort and fluency. Every sentence you say aloud makes the next one easier. You are building a habit, and more than that, you are building confidence. Because when you finally step into a real conversation, your voice won't feel like a stranger. It will feel like an old friend you've been chatting with all along, and that makes all the difference. All right, you've been doing some amazing work in your private practice room. You're thinking in English, you're chatting with yourself, you're reading aloud. It's starting to feel more natural. But I can hear a question forming. Charlotte, this is great, but how do I move from talking to myself to talking with another person? That is the beautiful and sometimes scary bridge we all must cross. And the good news is, this bridge has many gentle, beginner-friendly steps. You don't have to run onto it. You can take one small, careful step at a time. The key is to start with low-pressure interaction. What does that mean? It means finding situations where the focus is not only on your perfect grammar, but on something else. For example, language exchange apps where you can send short voice messages. You have time to think, record, listen to yourself, and send. The person on the other end is a learner too, so they understand the journey. It's a wonderful, supportive first step. Another idea? Talk to a pet or a plant. I'm completely serious. They are the best listeners. They don't correct you, they just enjoy the sound of your voice. You can tell your cat about your day in English. It builds the muscle memory of forming sentences for a listener, even if that listener is more interested in sleeping. Or try shadowing. Find a short clip from a podcast, a YouTube video, or a movie character you like. Listen to one sentence, pause, and try to say it exactly like they did. Copy their rhythm, their emphasis, their feeling. This isn't about losing your own accent. Your voice is lovely. It's about tuning your ear and practicing the music of the language. Remember, your first real conversations don't have to be deep debates about politics. They can be simple. Hello, how are you? With a shop assistant in an English-speaking country, or a comment about the weather to a fellow learner online. Celebrate these tiny victories. Each one is a brick placed firmly on your bridge, making it stronger and wider. You are not going from 0 to a 1-hour job interview. You are going from hello to hello, how was your day? That is a huge, magnificent leap. Be proud of every single word you dare to share with the world. So, you're building your bridge. You're starting to say hello to the world. And that is when we meet our two most famous, and let's be honest, most annoying companions: mistake and nervousness. They love to show up right when we're about to speak. Your heart beats a little faster, your palms might get sweaty, and a little voice says, "What if I sound silly? What if I make a mistake?" First, let me give you permission to sound silly. I sound silly all the time. I mispronounce words, I forget what I'm saying halfway through a sentence. It's human. Making mistakes is not the opposite of fluency. It is a vital part of it. Every mistake is a sign that you are reaching. You are trying something new. I like to call them beautiful oops. They are proof of your courage. Now, how do we gently move mistake and nervousness to the side? We have strategies. The first is to have a few island phrases. These are simple, go-to sentences you can use when your mind goes blank. Phrases like, "Could you say that again, please?" Or, "I'm learning English, so please speak slowly." Or even, "One moment, I'm looking for the word." These phrases give you back control. They turn a moment of panic into a simple, graceful pause. They are your islands of safety in the conversation sea. The second strategy is to focus on your goal. Your goal in a conversation is almost never to speak perfect English. Your goal is to connect, to understand, to share an idea, to buy a coffee, to make a friend. Keep your eyes on that goal. Did you get your message across? Even with simple words and a few mistakes? Then you have succeeded brilliantly. The other person understood you. That is a victory to celebrate. Remember, most people are kind and patient. They are usually more interested in what you are saying than in how you are saying it. And if you smile, if you show your friendly intention, that builds a connection far stronger than any grammar error can break. Your voice, with its unique accent and its beautiful oops, is a gift. It represents your history, your effort, and your bravery. Don't let the fear of a tiny mistake silence that gift. Speak, make the beautiful oops, learn from them, and keep connecting. That is how fluency is truly built, not on a foundation of perfection, but on a practice of fearless, joyful trying. And let us go one step deeper. Over time, something very interesting happens when you accept mistakes instead of fighting them. Your brain relaxes. When you remove the pressure to be perfect, your mind becomes more flexible, more creative, and more open to learning. You begin to notice patterns. You start remembering words more easily. Fluency grows faster in a relaxed mind than in a fearful one. Confidence is not born from knowing everything. It is born from trusting yourself even when you do not. Another helpful shift is to redefine what confidence really means. Confidence does not mean speaking fast. It does not mean using advanced vocabulary or complex grammar. True confidence means continuing to speak even after a mistake. It means pausing, correcting yourself if needed, and moving forward without shame. Every time you do that, you train your mind to see mistakes as normal events, not emergencies. It is also important to remember that silence is not failure. Pausing to think is a natural part of any language, even in your native one. When you pause, you are not weak, you are thoughtful. When you search for a word, you are not failing, you are learning. Give yourself the same patience you would give to a close friend who is learning something new. You can also practice kindness toward yourself after conversations. Instead of replaying every mistake in your mind, ask yourself better questions. Ask, "What went well?" Ask, "What did I communicate successfully?" Then ask, "What is one small thing I learned today?" This reflection turns every conversation into a lesson, not a judgment. And finally, remember this: fluency is not a destination you arrive at one day. It is a relationship you build with the language over time. Some days it feels easy and smooth. Other days it feels slow and awkward. Both days are part of the process. Both days are valuable. So speak with courage. Speak with patience. Speak even when your voice shakes a little. Your accent, your pauses, and your beautiful oops are not obstacles. They are evidence that you are growing, and growth, always, is something to be proud of. And here we are. We started with the voice in your head, moved to your private practice room, built a bridge to the world, and even learned to hug our beautiful oops. Look how far you've come in this short time. Just by considering these ideas, you've already taken the most important step, the decision to try. Improving your speaking isn't about a secret trick or a perfect method. It's about consistency, kindness to yourself, and a willingness to be a beginner every single day. It's the 5 minutes of thinking in English while you wait for the bus. It's describing your dinner to your patient cat. It's sending that one short voice message to a language partner. It's using your island phrase when you feel lost. These small daily actions are the bricks that build your castle of confidence. Remember, language is alive. It's not a statue to admire from afar. It's a garden you grow. You plant the seeds with study, but you make it flourish with use. Water it a little every day with your voice. Some days the growth feels slow, but trust me, it's happening under the surface. So, my challenge to you is this. Before this day ends, I want you to speak one sentence of English out loud, just for you. It can be anything. Today, I listened to a great podcast. Or, I am capable of learning this. Claim your voice. Own that sound. That is your power. Thank you so much for spending this time with me on Speak Power Daily. I am truly cheering for you. Every word you speak is a victory. Keep going, keep growing, and I'll be right here with you in the next episode. Until then, speak your power. Goodbye.